Okay, Turquoise Mama here, and today's video I wanted to bring up the subject of gardening and just to give everybody an opportunity to share their stories on what kind of gardening type memories do you have from your childhood or even currently, depending on your age. Whatever, it's not just for people who are looking way back, but I wanted to share a few of mine, past memories and yeah, current memories and what's happening now. I'm sorry, I'm not really good at doing the photos and the picture taking. I'm trying to use a laptop here, so I'm not using a phone to do this. So there's not going to be any pictures or videos to go along with this. It's just sharing memories and current of events on gardening. And then I'm hoping to have other people leave comments on their past and present experiences. So, growing up, we had a Babcock peach tree in our backyard, and we got peaches from that. We did get that. I guess I'm not sure if it was there or not. I don't remember if it was there when my parents bought the house or they planted it. But by the time I was old enough to remember, the tree was in full functioning, putting out peaches like crazy, and so we would have peaches and we'd bring them in the house and then package them up and give them to the neighbors, and because we had so many, we had more than we could use. And I remember hating the tree to some point because we didn't always get chance to harvest the peaches, and so they would rot or fall off the tree, and they would rot in the grass underneath the tree, and then us kids were the ones that got chosen to go clean them up. And it was nasty. Oh my gosh, they're all squishy and they're fermenting, so the smell was like so rancid. And I'd get those. We'd add the yellow rubber gloves that would come up here for your washing dishes. People would use back then. We did wash dishes by hand back then, and so so us kids would put those on and to go out there to pick up the peaches, and we always hated it. um, and then my dad had like a tree, that tree here, and then behind it was the fence to the other people's yard behind us, and he built an arbor behind that tree to grow grapes, and we grew grapes for a couple years or whatever. It wasn't a whole. I don't remember having grapes on there for a long time, but a couple years probably we grew grapes on there, and then besides that, there was he fenced off a little area and made a little wooden fence with a gate and made a garden inside that area because we had dogs, so we didn't want the dogs in there messing with the garden. So he made a tiered. He would. My dad had made a box, and then a smaller box inside that. So it was like a 2-level pyramid type thing. 2-level. It only went 2 levels, as far as I remember. I think, or did it go 3? I think it only went 2 because you wouldn't have been able to reach the 3rd level. But so they had planted. My mom and dad had planted cucumbers, carrots, bell peppers, radishes, and I think they did some type of lettuce, Swiss chard or something. I don't know. They did some type of. It wasn't iceberg lettuce, but some type of lettuce or spinach. I think they might have grew some spinach one time. The carrots didn't last too long because we never seemed to be able to get the carrots to grow very good. They always were scrawny. So I think they stopped growing the carrots. They might have tried to do potatoes too. Yeah, but they always came out, just little things like that, Wasn't nice bacon potatoes, obviously. Uh, So we had a little garden growing up and had that peach tree, and then my dad had put in an avocado tree, um, but I guess it takes like 7 years for it to start producing, to really producing fruit, and we'd only had it for 5 years when the time came for my parents' divorce and to sell the house. I mean, we did get a few little ones. We could see a few little ones up until that time on the tree, but it wasn't really producing any avocados before we moved. And I would love to have an avocado tree. I have a friend of mine, a friend that I used to work with, and she had an avocado tree in her backyard, and they would get huge, and she hated avocados. She had this 30-foot tree in her backyard producing all these avocados like this big, and so she would go out and pick them and give them away to family and friends and neighbors. And I do have a little story about being at her house and out there helping her and holding a basket or something while she was up on a ladder trying to pick some of the avocados. And she had this little, like this house robe thing on, and it had pockets on each side. So she was picking the avocados and putting them in her pockets. And she had this Dalmatian dog that his name was Dr. Spot, and he was out there with us, and he got up on her and was trying to get her attention, and then he actually took his paw and he turned his paw and hit the bottom of her one pocket to try to knock one of those avocados out of her pocket. And she freaked out. Oh my gosh, did you see that? He turned his paw. Oh my gosh, and you saw that, right? And no one would believe me if I tried to tell him, but you saw it. I'm like, yeah, I did see that. So it was kind of funny that the dog would just like literally like turned his paw and did this to try to knock that out of her pocket. But anyway, it's a little fun story, I guess. Uh, and then right now, we're trying to grow some stuff. My husband put in a pomegranate tree some years back, and we're trying to get pomegranates off that. It puts out so many blossoms that half of them are on the ground, but there's still a ton on the tree. But the fruit, we haven't been able to harvest any from it because the bugs and the birds keep getting to the pomegranates, and they come out and they're only like this big, and then the bugs are getting at them, and then they are half eaten and fall off and on the ground. So we're still trying to get pomegranates from that, which we're still hopeful that we can get some that we'll be able to eat one day. My husband put a Myers lemon also in the backyard, and that grew and has produced a lot of lemons, and we've had so many that we've had to give them away. It's not doing so well right now because this last winter, not this year, but last year in 2022, that winter was kind of harsh, and we had some freezing. It hasn't really grown back since then, and he wasn't able to go out there and protect a tree, which in the years past he's covered it with blankets and stuff to kind of protect it from the harsh winters when we've gotten the freezes. And last 2 winters he hasn't been able to do that. So the tree, it's not big. I mean, you can see the trees there and it's all dead looking, but there are some shoots coming up from the ground that are, a couple feet high. So I mean, it is growing back, but it's just not in its glory as it was 4 or 5 years ago when we were getting all the fruit from it. And then he's actually growing another one. He cut off a branch and however he does it, he cut off a part of the tree and planted it in a pot that we have. So we have a small one growing in this pot, and that one's doing all right, but it's not nearly as big as the parent tree. Let's see what else we got going. So, and now right now we have a little garden going where we got some tomatoes growing. Those my husband bought as plants. They're, the small plants you get, and so those ones were already grown up. But the rest, other stuff we got growing we're trying to grow from seeds, and we got some zucchini, radishes. What else did he say is in there? And I keep forgetting because the stuff's not coming up. It's taken a long time to grow, to shoot up, and we're trying to decide if our daughter planted the seeds too far down, so it's taken longer for the little shoots to come up, or if the seeds, because it's seeds that we had in our on our promises. In our on our premises here at our house, we've had those in the garage or whatever, in a drawer or whatever, for a few years. So my husband's wondering if the seeds are still viable. So I keep forgetting what is being grown because stuff's not coming up. But it's carrots. I think they said carrots. He actually planted some garlic that if you get garlic from the store, fresh garlic from the store, you actually can plant that and get garlic, or at least it puts out the green tops. You can use those or something. And the same with the green onions. So if you're getting green onions from the store and you get them down to the ball part, you can keep that and plant those with the little shoots that are already having little roots on them. You can plant those, and so we actually saved some of those from something we made, and we planted those. So those are coming up where we can now harvest just the top of it and make chives, our own green onions. Or it's technically not chives because chives are it's their own thing. They look similar to green onions, but it's kind of, people kind of say that, chives is basically green onions chopped up. So you can cut those off, and then they'll just keep growing, I guess, according to my husband. So we got some of those growing out there. So we're kind of happy about that, and kind of hopeful. Well, we're not as happy as we'd like to because a lot of the stuff isn't. We're not even seeing the shoots come up, and they should have come up already a couple weeks ago. So my husband's thinking that the seeds are not viable. But I was telling him I think that we need to just give it some more time because I think our daughter just planted the seeds a little deeper than she should have. So it's taken a little bit longer for the shoots to come up and make it through the dirt and the soil out there. But we'll see. So that's anyway, I guess that's kind of our little gardening story, what we're doing gardening wise. And I don't know, maybe I can get some pictures going. My one daughter decided she wanted to get a smartphone, so I don't know how much. I have just this flip phone. This is my phone, my cell phone. I just use a flip phone. I don't want to do smartphones, so it doesn't take very good pictures, but I don't know. And I'm still going to have to learn how to do like the editing stuff on trying to make these videos for YouTube. I haven't really delved into all that type of incorporating photos and videos in that, and doing that editing part, that type of editing thing of the videos. So that's something I have to kind of learn how to do. And not sure what all I can do. I know my daughter was saying she's done a couple YouTube videos, and she was talking about the editing services, programs like you have to pay for them. There was one she was able to do something for free or something, but I don't know. I haven't really got into that yet. I'm just right now content, I guess, to just do the sit in front of the camera and chit chat type of videos, and not do anything like incorporating videos and pictures. But maybe that's something I'll do in the future. I'm gonna have to take it a little bit at a time and try to learn all that. And it's, I'm sure gonna be a lot of information. So I'm gonna have to process all that and figure it out and practice and make practice videos and all that stuff. And it's gonna take time. That is what I have heard on from other people making videos. If you're gonna do a YouTube channel and you want it to go a certain way, it can be time consuming. It's a lot of work, and so not sure how much of that I want to do right now, but or at least I don't want to do that right now. How much of that I want to do in the future, I'm not sure. But anyway, that's my little gardening stories and memories and current experiences. So anybody else, well, be happy to find out what your memories and current experiences are on gardening, and hopefully other people would want to know too and come by and read your comment and leave their own comments. So again, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.